Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This will be the week 9 preview. Um, this slate looks amazing. This might be the best week of the year. We got great games in each hour. We got an international game that might actually be good. It looks like a great matchup. We got Miami, Kansas City in the morning. We got Seattle, Baltimore at the 1 p.m. slot. We got Dallas, Philly in the 4 p.m. slot, and then we got Buffalo, Cincinnati at the Sunday Night Football slot. Which it's gonna be just great. So yeah, uh, sorry for not uploading a week 9 or a week 8 recap. I had so much to do. Just wasn't able to get to it, so I apologize. But maybe if my channel gets bigger, I'll be able to put more time into it. Because it's hard, sometimes it's hard to like be like, oh, only like 3 people watch these videos. I don't know if it's really worth the work, but I'll keep doing it because I really want to. Um, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get to the games. Um, I'm gonna spend more time on some games than others because we just have great matchups here. We'll start with Kansas City, Miami, and Germany. The big thing from this game will be how does Miami's offense go up against Kansas City's defense, specifically Kansas City's passing defense. The weakness right now in Kansas City's defense is their run defense. According to PFF, they have the second worst EPA run play allowed. Um, but that sounds bad, but they still aren't giving up points. It's kind of like, Bill Belichick's defensive philosophy, how he'll let you get up and down the field, but when you get to the red zone, you know, you're not getting in the end zone. You're gonna have to take a field goal. Um, However, Miami's rushing offense is so good with their pre-snap motion. I know Achane is out, but it's just they should still have a good running game. Um, and another thing about that I like about Miami, if their main strategy is running the ball, what I like about them is they running the ball will keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. It'll make them score less points by just keeping them off the field. Um, and then on top of that, the Kansas City offense hasn't quite looked the same as we're used to it seeing. They've been struggling at the receiver spot, other than Kelsey, who's their tight end. They haven't really had a great receiving core. Um, and I believe this is the first game with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. Um, this should be the first game that Miami's defense is fully healthy, and I think that's going to be great to watch. Great to see how Patrick Mahomes plays against them. Uh, and yeah, I this just looks like a great matchup. One thing though about Miami, they have not beat a team with the winning record since last year against the Bills in week 3, which is very concerning. So I don't know. International games are weird. I was kind of leaning Kansas City, but I guess Miami has got there before. like a couple days before Kansas City did, and we saw when the previous international games, we saw that really mattered. So I'm that's not why I'm picking Miami here. I'm picking Miami because their run game, it'll keep Mahomes off the field, and Miami has their full defense back. So I'm gonna take Miami here. The line is 2.5. I'm taking Miami +3 here. And yeah, it's an international game. It seems like these international games are close historically. I mean, not so much this season, but and yeah, this should be a great game. Like it's also I love like just waking up and watching football. Like it's I love it. Especially with this matchup. A lot of people have been complaining that this matchup isn't on like prime time, which I get, but I mean, I also love this. So next game, Arizona at Cleveland. This line is now 10. This line is, I don't know. Arizona just traded their quarterback, Josh Dobbs. They're going to be starting Clayton Tune, who went to University of Houston. He's a rookie. And I think this Cleveland Browns defense is just way too much for that. Uh, I know the line is huge. Give me Cleveland -9.5 here. I just think rookie quarterback against that defense is insane, and it's in Cleveland. So yeah, give me Cleveland dude. -9.5. Next, we got Seattle at Baltimore. This is the 1 p.m. game I was talking about. The line is 6.5, which is pretty crazy. Thought it would be a lot closer. I'm gonna take Seattle +6.5 here. Um, Seattle just traded for Leonard Williams from the Giants. Their D line was already good. It got even better. Their defense, I've said it before, their defense is going to be very good for years to come, I think. And they could really go on a run here. This could be a potential Super Bowl matchup. I know it's only week 9, so it's like kind of weird saying that. Uh, but like these are both top 4 teams in their respective conferences at this moment. They're both leading their division, and yeah, I believe Baltimore is the second best team in the AFC, and I believe Seattle is, as of right now, probably the third best, maybe second best, with the Niners being injured. We'll get back to that though uh, at a later video. Um, yeah, this game. What I think the key to this game will be is Geno Smith in the red zone versus Baltimore's red zone defense. Baltimore's red zone defense has been one of the best this year. And Geno Smith, he's been struggling at red zone offense for the first couple weeks of the season, but he's been getting better at it each week. So this would be a real test for him to see where he's at in the red zone against a great defense. Uh, Next we got Tampa at Houston. Um, Give me Houston money line here. I don't trust Baker anymore. He seems to do this thing where Baker will go to a new team, he'll play really well. Everyone will say, "Oh, Baker's back. Oh, he's gonna be good with this team." And then a few weeks pass, and he's just like awful. So I'm taking Houston here. I just think they're the better team, better quarterback, which is kind of crazy to say. He's a rookie with a rookie head coach, but I just don't see it with Tampa right now. They've let me down the past couple weeks. Next, we got Rams at Packers. Rams are getting or +3.5 here. It's not. I think Stafford is questionable. I think that's why the line is so big. But give me the Rams. I don't see it with Jordan Love. I don't see it with this Green Bay team. Everyone in Green Bay knows that like they're gonna move on from Jordan Love. He'll probably just be a backup at some point. The Rams are kind of coming back down to earth, especially with Stafford like getting banged up now. Uh, but I'm that number's too big against this Packers team. Packers are not good, and you can run on them. I think if they get the run game going, I don't see how the Packers will win this, especially Jordan Love. I don't know. Next, we got Washington at New England. Give me New England -2.5 here. I just feel like Washington isn't that good of a team. Sam Howell isn't great. He's not, I mean, he shows flashes, but he just holds the ball too long sometimes. He takes too many sacks. I think Bill Belichick, he's going to find a way to get some sacks on Sam Howell. Also, Ron Rivera, like, that's just a huge coaching mismatch. I think Bill Belichick is so much better than Rivera. Um, and yeah, also Washington just traded their best two defensive ends. Um, like their best part of the team was the defensive line, and they just traded their two best players of that defensive line. So it just kind of tells me like they aren't going to be competing this year. Uh, Neither is New England, but I like New England here. I Washington just had a hard fought loss against the Eagles. I think they're going to come out kind of flat here. Next, you got Minnesota at Atlanta. This is a tough game because they're both playing with backup quarterbacks. Uh, I like Atlanta here, -3. Um, I don't have much to say about this. It's kind of unfortunate. It's pretty unfortunate what happened to Kirk Cousins. He was having a great year. He finally kind of pulled the Vikings back from that bad start that they had, and he was having the best year of his career in the contract year, which is pretty tough. Um, they both kind of have decisions on what to do with the team. Uh, so Minnesota, they just traded for Josh Dobbs. I don't know. I'll just take the Falcons here, -3. Next, we got Chicago at New Orleans. I'm not going to spend any time on this game. Give me the line is so big, but give me New Orleans -8.5. Uh, I think Derek Carr will be okay versus Chicago, and Chicago looked awful lately. Also, I think Justin Fields is still out, so give me New Orleans here. They just blew out the Colts, and I think the Colts and the Bears are pretty similar to each other. So New Orleans -8. Next, we got Indiana at Carolina. Give me Carolina +2.5 or +3. They look better at home. Indiana, the Minshew looks like he's gonna turn the ball over a lot. I can't bet on Minshew, so I'll take Carolina here +2.5 or 3. I'm sorry. A lot of times when it's 2.5, I'll buy it up to 3 for you guys, like for the picks, because you get a. It's not worth laying like the juice for a half point that won't cover. If that makes sense. Like key numbers like 3, 7, 8, 10, kind of stuff like that. I could kind of go into it later on the next video on the philosophy behind buying certain points. But yeah, we'll get into that another time. Next, we got New York at Las Vegas. Uh, Give me Las Vegas money line here. Um, everyone they just fired their coach, Josh McDaniels, who's awful. Um, and it seems like everyone in that organization looks happier from the press conferences and stuff. You can tell they look happier. Uh, I just give me Las Vegas money line here. Next, we got Dallas at Philadelphia. This one I'll spend some time on. Uh, my main thing for this game for the Eagles, they cannot turn the ball over. Uh, Dallas, like they play their best when they're getting turnovers, and the Eagles have been having a turnover problem, and they cannot let the turnovers happen against this team. The Eagles' defensive line this year has been kind of average, other than Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, and Hassan Reddick. Uh, they haven't been pressuring the quarterback as much as they did last year. Jordan Davis is also doing great. I don't want to sound like he's not doing great. Like he's more of a run stopper though. He's not so much of a pass rusher. But he's one of the reasons why you can't really run on the team is Jordan Davis, so he deserves a lot of credit there. But they just need to get more pressure. Lately, they haven't. I mean, they sacked Howell once, and he's like the most sacked quarterback in the league. They just have these games where they aren't getting pressure, so they need to get pressure this game. But the Dallas offensive line has been doing pretty good this year, so it's going to be a good test for them, and they need to do it. I like. I know a lot of times Dallas they'll blow a team out and then drop one later, or they'll lose a game that they shouldn't have and then blow a team out, and they're coming off a blowout. So I like that for Philadelphia. Uh, we're finally getting a Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott matchup. It seems like every year these two guys are hurt at like one point or the other. So we're finally getting to see these two against each other. Um, as an Eagles fan, one thing I'm worried about is CD Lamb just torching our slot, our secondary. They've been having so many injuries in the secondary, and they've had to have so many combinations with different guys at different positions, and they've looked very shaky. And Dak is very good at finding weaknesses in a defense. So, pretty worried about that. Uh, and then for the Eagles side, look to see if AJ Brown continues his streak. I hope he does, but Dallas defense is very good. If someone's you're not gonna stop AJ Brown, but they will do a better job than most to limit him. Um, with all that said, I'm taking Eagles minus 2.5 here. They're at home and they need this one. Their upcoming stretch is just brutal, and they need to split with Dallas to win this division. They cannot lose both to Dallas. They have to win this one. It'll also get them started off to a good start with this upcoming brutal stretch. So yeah, they just need this one. And finally, we got Buffalo at Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati here, money line. This is such an interesting game because Buffalo will be looking to avenge their playoff loss from last year. Cincinnati came to their home and just beat them up, and it really rubbed them the wrong way. They're gonna look to make that right. So I'm really hoping both teams play to their best, and I think they will. Joe Burrow looks 100%. Um, for the Bills, they look like they aren't really blowing out teams like they used to. They're kind of flirting with losses here and there with like Josh Allen will just throw a bad pass sometimes. Um, I don't know. Also, their defense has been pretty injured, but they just traded for Rasul Douglas and Linval Joseph just signed with them, so that should really help them. Um, but in my head, I just can't seem to like shake the playoff loss that they had last year. It seems like Cincinnati just gives all these AFC teams so much trouble. You know, they beat the Chiefs 2 years ago, and then they gave them trouble last year. They beat the Bills last year. They play these AFC teams very well. Uh, and yeah, so be taking Cincinnati here, money line. This will be a great game. And then finally, New York or Los Angeles Chargers at New York Jets on Monday night. I'm gonna take New York here plus 3.5. The Jets, they seem to make every good quarterback look bad. And Justin Herbert, so far, he's really only been good against bad teams. So I'm really interested to see what the Jets do to a quarterback like Herbert. Um, and yeah, I don't have much to say on it. I've kind of been going on. It's kind of late here. Those are my picks for this week. If you have any comments or anything, be sure to type them. Let me know. Like the video, subscribe. If you have any thoughts, like please let me know. Uh, Also, what I'm gonna do here is start a power rankings. Not a full on power rankings, but like top six from each conference. Um, and I'll probably do this to conclude each of my videos every week. I'll do it to conclude the recap video so that like we'll get the current power rankings for after those games had just finished. So I'll be working on that. Um, and yeah, if you have any ideas how to make my channel better, please tell me.